So of course the parameters about what makes something the best year ever are going to be completely individual to you. Maybe it's how much you enjoy the show, maybe it's ratings, maybe it's merchandise numbers. I don't know, I'm not you. When we do look back at 2023 for WWE though, I am pretty confident we could call it one of their best years ever. Why? Here's why. And we shall start with the obvious. WWE is so damn hot right now. I mean, you can feel it when you watch Raw and SmackDown, and even NXT has totally found itself over the last few months. I mean, it now has a brand identity. Now, marketing executives everywhere are going, yeah, you said it. And it would be one thing if it was just Fridays that had an upswing, because of course WWE is on Fox. But I'm going to stand here right now and say it's Monday nights too. Because there's filled arenas, multiple wrestlers being over, storylines that people care about, genuine noise. Those attending these events are super happy to be there, and that kind of emotion does come out of the screen, and we at home start to feel it too. So going to a WWE event right now feels like a fun thing to do. And a lot of this, of course, does have to go on the shoulders of Roman Reigns, because he is their top guy, but it's proven in the metrics as well. Sometimes he gets announced for a house show, and you look at the ticket sales, they go up sometimes by even a couple of thousand. That's a draw. So he does get a massively positive response, which is true in these arenas too, because when that blah, blah, blah music hits, everybody goes crazy. He is finally the megastar, so everyone at WWE is happy. It also helps that the Bloodline story has been absolutely brilliant, but when you do break that down, it does tie in, because who benefited from that the most? I'm saying Jey Uso. Now an established single star in his own right, he's also a mega babyface, and again, when you go on that there internet and you start doing some exploring, he's also selling a ton of merch. And I tell you, even like 3-4 years ago, if you had told me this was going to happen to Jey Uso, I wouldn't have believed you. I mean, I would have been super excited, but I would have been like, how? So we can sit down and debate whether the head of the table has held the WWE title too long. But let's not forget about old Jey here. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy in my tum-tum. That dude rules. So we have gone back to using storylines to create brand new top guys. And talking about top guys, you've got to bring in Cody Rhodes. Here he is. And he is just John Cena after John Cena, but fans are lapping it up, and he too is just a merchandise machine. And I don't think we have to worry about the reasons why this has happened. You see that being debated on the internet all of the time. As I've told you before, and as I will tell you again, when it comes to WrestleMania 40, I still believe the American Nightmare is going to defeat Roman Reigns, become the super duper WWE champion, which is going to move him up another level. We're going to lose sight of him. And look, yes, of course, it's always harder to generate the same heat when our hero has the championship, but WWE has got my benefit of the doubt, and they've done this by keeping calm and keeping patient and just delivering good narrative after good narrative. It's another reason why 2023 has been so damn good. Instantly, the debate will now be, well, should he have lost at WrestleMania 39 or not? And once again, only you could answer that. But it didn't hurt business. Roman still feels like he's pretty damn important, and so does Cody. I kind of find it hard to criticize. I mean, there's every chance now that actually when Rhodes finally does finish the story, we get another uptick, which would be ridiculous. And this is before we've talked about the likes of Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, LA Knight. They've all been doing top work and directly influenced pay-per-views or premium live events. Because if you are old like me, you remember there was a long old while where for some reason WWE didn't care about these shows anymore. I mean, I suppose it's because they had the network, and they weren't making that much money, so TV became front and center to the point you could watch a Backlash and the message from start to finish is, we think you should watch Raw. So all the interesting stuff was happening there. While you get the odd card that did have a couple of intriguing fights, mostly they became pointless. And your big special whoop-de-boo-boo shows can't be pointless. You want to make people care. And that has absolutely not been the case this year, because let's go back to February as an example. There are others, and the Elimination Chamber. You had people desperate for Sami Zayn to beat Roman Reigns for the WWE title on what many people describe as a B show. I mean, that doesn't just happen. You have to put the work in. And when you do go month to month, WWE has been doing this all over the place. I generally think it helped overall too, because as we know, there is 32,786 hours of wrestling in a week, but if you can just get that spark at a weekend on a Saturday or a Sunday and say, we think you want to tune into this, well, it gets you and you do. I mean, really, when you break it down, the company told you that it was important. Surprise, surprise, it became important. I mean, it ain't hard. Doubling back round as well, I do think we have to talk about NXT. That show's been on fire. Now 2.0 has been an interesting experiment, but as soon as all the power changes happened and Shawn Michaels found himself in charge, he kept a little bit of this, he went back to the black and gold era, and he threw a bunch of new stuff in there too. And now we have a wonderful little package. I mean, it's like we just ignore the Ghostbusters and we have crossed all the streams, because not only do you get goofy wrestling for life, you also get badass matches, you get characters, you get interviews that make you go, oh my gosh, and interviews that make you go, that was dumb. And while we are establishing a crop of new stars, you also get established stars on there too. I mean, what haven't we done? I also really do feel like it has its own identity, and I always know where things are going. That just makes me like it more. It's also led us wondering how the likes of Carmelo Hayes or Bron Breakker or Tiffany Stratton will be used when they get up to the main roster, and you can see where we're going with this. For the first time in ages, I ain't scared about this, and I truly think when they get to a Raw or SmackDown, there's gonna be a plan and a place. And look, maybe they sink, and maybe they swim, that doesn't matter, but give them a go. This is where we get to our next point too, because yeah, in 2023, Triple H has mostly been in charge of creative. That once again is a massive tick. I mean, even wrestlers like Tegan Nox are finally getting to show what they can do on that their main roster, and maybe it works out. I don't know, but at least we're giving her a shot. I just made the same point twice. I'd also say that 2023 is the best year in ages when it comes to the secondary titles. I mean, the United States Championship is definitely in a better position, but when it comes to the Intercontinental title, my word, if you want to come in here right now and say, well, I actually see it as a world belt these days, I'd be like, yeah, let's go with it. I can also just throw random names at you too, such as Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio. I mean, that's it. You think they're good now? You wait till we get cooking. This is going to be huge. I just know that I look forward to Raw and SmackDown every single week these days, and that's because there's been a purpose here. It's not like it's magic. While there absolutely have been some sad times, such as all those releases WWE did, at the moment it just feels like they're on fire, and long may it continue. Given that this has all happened before WrestleMania 40, they couldn't have timed it better either. And look, there is a comments box down there. There's going to be a bunch of moments I have forgotten. Go and be some positive Pete's. I also do want to point out that in the past, we have all been quick to jump on WWE, such as in 2019. Sometimes you got to give credit where it is due. I think WWE deserves every last bit of it. Now, so yes, like I say, make sure that you go into that comment box down there and tell me what you have liked about WWE. Don't turn it into a negative Nancy raid. We have enough of that. Click the video on the screen to continue your video journey. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Go to whatculture.com where you can read articles such as this with your eyes. And we're on social media, What Culture WWE. Simon Miller 316. My name is Simon from What Culture. Thank you very much for joining me as always. Make sure you have a terrific day. I just want to point this out too. If you don't like WWE, that's okay. Watch New Japan, watch Ring of Honor, watch Impact. It's all good stuff. We support wrestling here, and we always will.